It's Zanzi. It's Wednesday morning, 9:12 a.m., February 26th. The end of the Spirit of Asilomar is happening way over there, and I'm right back here in my little corner. I'm going to talk to you about a very important topic in consciousness. As Robert Sapolsky of Stanford says, determined current scientific consensus, which we agree on 100%, says there's no free will, which means the current scientific consensus has not just a blind spot, but a blind dimension. I kind of call it the missing 3/5 of human functioning. And I'm doing philosophical math there. I am the globe's original consulting philosopher of bio-electromagnetism, consciousness, life-centric thinking, my own proprietary brand of thinking that solves conundrums. You're sorting hard problems into easy pivots. I mean, that's what I did with consciousness. The hard problem into an easy pivot. That's what I can do for autism. I've tried to pitch a documentary on redefining autism to a previous conference I attended here at Asilomar. Autism is ETSD, environmental trauma stress disorder. You heard it here first. So my definition of consciousness, which if you go and get books by any of the leading lights, and we'll stick with Dan Dennett, even though he departed us last year. And I went out to him. His book, Bach, Bacteria, Beyond. Send me an email. Amoebas, Art, and Avant. Where consciousness is in our blind spot. We have enough science. We don't have expert generalists who are staying alive via the philosophical method. Life-centric thinking, bio-electromagnetism. These things are literally just beyond the next corner. There's a scientific revolution brewing. I'm the one who, as far as I know, is the only one out in front with the philosophical evolution of thinking that has to happen socio-culturally and civilizationally. We're going to have enough time to do the science of bio-electromagnetism. We got to address climate change. The ever-escalating burdens of chronic disease and mental illness, that is my sweet spot. And the dehumanization of plantation capitalism. It's job number 1. Hashtag how to demolish racism by 2030. Find that playlist, many, many others, on my YouTube channel. Hashtag red-headed She-Hulk. Incredible Hulk myth is not only my superpower, but it's a very accurate definition of what's happening in autistic brains and bodies. Especially in the Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno version, the 70s TV show. Movies, comics, 1970s TV show, because that's what got into my brain, my lived experience early. But it also was a very cerebral TV show, directed by my Carnegie Mellon co-alum. So look, I believe that it's sticky, but then I had to push just enough to not hit you in the face. So then, after performing again another pro bono service to the conference and the resort, of which my life is in jeopardy. for the very minor misunderstanding that I would somehow be violating some sort of ethical standard by showing up just to watch a dance performance at a social event indicated on a public website at a conference, initially and continually trying to blur the lines between public involvement. I crossed an invisible boundary. I did not argue with the invisible boundary. I argued about the way I was treated. I was not merely condescended, I was demeaned by the security guard. This is his quote. "You know you don't belong here." I know nothing of the sort. I'm here as an independent philosopher of bio-electromagnetism. I was not in any way, shape, or form even interested in attending any of these detailed. I spent 5 years at Genentech. I have plenty of time to talk to biotech people. I wanted to. No, I'm here to talk to the conference organizers and the press surrounding the event to share a story that's what's right next, which is what this conference, the spirit of the Silomar. Nobody in our species feels safe. Nobody has a refuge. Nobody has a haven. That's my work, to get out into the public and talk about bleeding edge science, concatenated onto inherently valid ancestral wisdom. Spent my career being the communicator between IT and HR. Now I'm the communicator between Newtonian physiology and my own proprietary brand, although somebody might also be, it didn't show up on the Google, but quantum physiology. Had to talking about quantum biology. I hadn't even looked into that. I don't look at the things right close in until you pay me, so that we keep my IP separate from all of the places it interfaces, which are innumerable. There's a lot of science being ported into the philosophical hypothesis of bio-electromagnetism, sorting the hard problem of consciousness into an easy pivot, developing life-centered thinking, and the vast hypotheses of quantum physiology, which redefine chronic disease as bioelectromagnetic versus acute disease, which is injury and surgery and all that. We need a new paradigm, an additional paradigm that bolts on to what we already know for sure. What we already know for sure contradicts greatly our lived experience. Something's got to shift there. And I know what it is and how to get all 8 billion people in on it from the beginning, so that this isn't knowledge that's owned by just a few people that ends up in a GL bank account that benefits just a small group of plantation capitalists. I'm doing the right thing, and everywhere I go, I'm harmed, and my life is threatened. We didn't listen to black humans. Not accurately. And if we had, the civilization would be on an entirely different directory. Project. Interesting thing, it's the language that's giving us all. And my own problem, toxic mold exposure, has rewired my languaging, both verbal and written, through my amygdala. Even this tiniest hint that I'm doing something wrong, the because I'm demonstrating how hard it is to live a life actively, mindfully, constantly, doing no harm, showing kindness to those who are hurting you. Apparently doing the right thing is a death wish. And Spike Lee pointed that out to us. 1989, the summer. Beat of a funky drummer. Here's to a future where these two simple phrases of life-centric thinking ripple and people start being able to behave their beliefs. Because via evolutionary logic plus love intertwined, it is certain that we are all African ancestrally, and free thinking is priceless, yo. Harmony, it's been Zanzi.